Hello and welcome to Giving Hope to Others, your last key in the Keys to Hope and Healing booklet. You have come so far. Your vulnerability and courage is allowing you to take the difficult steps in order to continue healing from your abortion experiences. We are going to talk about paying it forward in this key. It's okay if you feel like you still have a long way to go in your healing process. You have something very valuable to share with others. You matter. Your story matters. It is likely the key to someone else's healing. Have you ever looked at the world and all its brokenness and thought, what could I possibly do to fix this, to bring healing to the world, and then just turn around and give up because the problems are just too big? Let me tell you a story. A man took his morning walk along a beach when he noticed hundreds of starfish washed up just above the waterline. He didn't think much about it until a little farther along, he saw a young girl throwing starfish one at a time back into the ocean. "Why are you doing that?" he asked, somewhat cynically. "Because," said the girl, "I want them to have a chance to live." "Oh, don't waste your time. There are so many you won't make any difference," he said. But the girl bent down, picked up another starfish, and with a big swing of her little arm, tossed it back into the ocean. Then turning to the man, she said, "It made a difference to that one." The man stopped, thought, and joined the girl in tossing starfish into the ocean. Others saw what they were doing and soon joined in. Think back to key 2. You are not alone. What did it feel like to learn that you were not alone in your thoughts about your abortion? Think about how it felt to discover there are other women who share your secret, who have felt your pain. Remember how freeing that felt? Before you ever shared the story about your abortion with others, was there a time when a woman mentioned her abortion to you? Or maybe you mentioned your abortion to someone else who had one and was struggling? It mattered immensely, didn't it? That moment didn't go unnoticed by you or her. Maybe it was because of a passing conversation you came to find out about this very program you're in right now. Someone else was willing to share their story with you, and now look at where you are. Let's hear about Paige's story of hope. It was because someone else had placed a flyer about an abortion healing group that she was able to start her healing journey.
So it's still hard for me to share what happened to me, but often when I do, someone will say, "You just told my story." And it begins with my love for the US military and my excitement to be deployed overseas for 2 years. I was fascinated by the differences in our cultures and took advantage of any leave to go explore. On that fateful evening, I had almost reached the barracks when a group of men came just rolling out of a bar. And before I knew it, one of them just grabbed my arm and dragged me into a side alley where I was violently raped. How I got back to my room, I'll never know. I felt so violated and cried uncontrollably on and off for weeks. After 3 months, my pregnancy showed. This was around the time that my niece Gwen flew out for a 2-week vacation, and she was horrified and begged me to report the rape, but I refused. Although I didn't want an abortion, I just couldn't go through with the pregnancy. I knew telling my parents that I had a child by rape would have devastated them. It had to be my dark secret. So I traveled back to the US on planned leave and went to the clinic for the procedure. My heart was broken at the thought of what I was doing to my baby. I left there in a daze and was plagued with guilt, what ifs, loneliness, and no self-worth. And my orders were changed and I stayed stateside. 5 years later, I found a flyer in an airport restroom about support and healing from abortion. Amazing. The healing I longed for was a phone call away. As part of my ongoing healing, I now wear a necklace with 2 small hearts intertwined. I continue to share my story and how I'm feeling with my therapist and my new sisters in my support group.
Sometimes the connection with another person who had an abortion doesn't even need to happen in person, although those can really be moments of deep healing for both people. Sometimes, like in Paige's story, it takes someone with a willingness to share something, even a flyer, that points to the healing available for women struggling after abortion. Will you open your journal? Think of a time when you had experienced a thoughtful word or gesture. How did it make you feel? What can you do to share in a similar manner with someone else? How might you share your hope with someone who has experienced an abortion? Think about your circle of friends, family, and acquaintances. Is there someone you know who may be struggling after abortion, who your loving kindness could find hope? If talking to anyone about your abortion experience sounds scary, you are not alone. Abortion is a personal experience and, as you already know, often carries intense emotions like shame, guilt, anger, and grief. If you aren't ready to share your experience with anyone yet, that's okay. You will know when you're ready. If you're watching this and thinking about people in your life who may benefit from hearing your story, that's wonderful. Take the opportunity to be open with them. If you are thinking of telling your story in public, that can be an incredible healing experience for you and all those who hear it. Before you share in public, it may be helpful to think about who your story may affect in your immediate circle of family and friends. If they don't know about your abortion, it is a good idea to share it with them first. If healing needs to happen within your family, with your partner, your parents, siblings, or your own children, then focus on those relationships first before sharing your story publicly. Sharing your story provides endless opportunities. Sometimes when a woman hears another woman talking about her own abortion experience, her entire body changes. Her shoulders fall and her face relaxes. It's almost as if a physical burden is being lifted away. You may understand this feeling, and you know what? You have the power to help another woman feel the same way if you choose to share your own hope by sharing your experience. Even though this last key is the end of the Keys to Hope and Healing booklet, it's only the beginning of the rest of your life. You have accomplished so much in this program and have a world of forgiveness, self-love, self-acceptance, and support from others to build upon. Please don't ever hesitate to reach out to support after abortion if you need us for anything at all. There are also organizations listed at the back of the booklet to reach out to for assistance.